typical high school boy that didn't know what he was going to do and said, I'm going to go to tech school, and said, well, might as well make the chance now. We'll go for it. We'll see what happens. If I mess this thing up, I got time to try to recover my license. So we just made that decision to moving out. We built a house, quit my job, and started creating a business plan. Put together that business plan.
Hey there, business enthusiasts. Welcome to the Chills Podcast, brought to you by Allweather Roof. Because just like a sturdy roof, our conversations are built to last. I'm your host, Brent Loberg, and we're about to dive into the world of business, family, and the moments that give us those exhilarating chills. Ever wonder what keeps successful people inspired? Well, get ready to find out as we chat with some fantastic all-weather customers, partners, vendors, and friends. We'll explore their triumphs, challenges, and maybe even some unexpected secrets. After all, business is not just about numbers. It's about the people behind them. So grab your metaphorical popcorn and join us on this journey. Get ready to be inspired, maybe even get a few chills of your own. This is the Chills Podcast. Let the goosebumps begin. Introduce yourself and the company.
So Corey Hickmann, Comfort Matters, Heating and Plumbing. We started back here in 2005, I guess is when we went into business, with a pure goal of living in the replacement, service, maintenance side of the business. That's what, that's what we've continued to do from day one. Has always been that, and stay out of the construction side or remodel side.
So when you're HVAC, it's residential side.
Yeah, exactly. When we started off, I started my career back actually working for a manufacturer for Train Engineering in McCross, and did a little bit more of the commercial side, I guess, then, and then transitioned into distribution side, and did actually pretty heavy in the commercial HVAC and refrigeration. So a lot of supermarket work and a lot of commercial HVAC. Plan, spec, design, build type of stuff. And when I made the transition to residential, though, or when we started Comfort Matters, residential was a pure focus because I found it more of a scalable business and easier to scale up. Commercial had a lot different. We like working one-on-one with customers versus plan and spec or bid and spec type of work. Yeah. And refrigeration has its ups and downs. Restaurant business can be difficult dealing with restaurants. There's a lot of credit obstacles to deal with there, and different management varieties. So working one-on-one with homeowners is 100% the goal, because it's a lot more scalable of a business, and it's a faster turn business. It has less financial risk as far as that, because it's primarily a COD kind of work.
Was it under the same name, Comfort Matters? Is it?
So Comfort Matters, as far as that, started that in 2005. So that's whatever that is, 18, 19 years.
Yeah. How'd you get into it?
Well, I don't know. It's your typical high school boy that didn't know what he was going to do and said, I'm going to go to tech school, and moved to La Crosse and picked the HVAC program and never got out. Once you're in, it's an industry that just kind of holds you out. Yeah,
that's what they say about commercial roofing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's in your blood, and it's hard to get out.
Yeah, I grew up with some family friends there in Wisconsin, Wallsdorf Roofing. They're a lot of commercial work. That's all they do, commercial roofing.
Okay.
So I watched the roofing world for a long time on the commercial side.
So what made you move from Wisconsin to Minnesota?
Work. Yep. Yeah, so I was working for a distributor out of La Crosse, and then my wife she went to school for hazardous material handling, and figured there's more jobs for hazardous material handling in a bigger city like Minneapolis, so I requested a transfer up here.
Okay.
So that was in 98.
So how did you transfer from being an employee to starting your own business?
Yeah, it was, I guess, a typical scenario of, as Gerber calls it, the entrepreneur seizure.
Yeah.
And did a lot. At the end, I did a lot working closely with individual HVAC companies and just trying to help working on with their business, marketing side, development and growth. And after I was doing that long enough, said, well, I was young enough. I'm like, my daughter was 1 at that time. Said, well, might as well make the chance now. We'll go for it. We'll see what happens. If I mess this thing up, I got time to try to recover my life.
Yeah.
And so we just made that decision to, I ended up moving out to Hanover. We built a house, quit my job, went down to the city auction, or down Shakopee auction, and found a truck. And said, here we go. And started creating a business plan, put together that business plan, and then tried to start executing it.
Okay. So when you started, it was just you?
It was just myself. So, yeah, and sell it, whatever, you name it. Repair it, maintenance it, bill it, collect it, everything except one.
So that was 2005. How many employees do you have now?
So today we got, we're over 30 employees right now. under our current umbrella there, and we've been able to have consistent growth every year, year over year. We made Inc. 5000's list for privately held company growth twice.
Wow.
Starting off going into in 05, obviously we hit the 08 bubble here pretty fast.
Yeah.
Which was probably actually our timing, I would say, really was that bad, so we're pretty lean. There wasn't a giant overhead structure to try to manage through, because it was out of my house when we first started. And fairly quickly, within a year, we transitioned to get a kind of a rental garage. Then from there, moved on to a commercial property, and then we've gone through a couple properties as we've expanded and moved since then.
Okay. Have you had to pivot, change directions or focus throughout those years, or has it kind of always been the kind of private homeowner?
No, we've been able to keep focused on really heavy. In the beginning, we would do a little bit of everything, meaning I do some remodel work. I've done some new construction work because it was just whatever you could do to generate any kind of work in the beginning. But as we wanted to continue to expand and scale the company, scaling those people, we have to do repetitive work, things that we could, I mentioned Gerber at EMS, it's the McDonald's model, of course it is, but what can we document and what can we continue to scale up and repeat over and over and over again? And residential services was very, very repeatable and very, so we could train upon that and kind of get the same result, the same answers every time. Remodels get very weird. The jobs get dragged out for days or weeks or months. And sure, it didn't have that same really planned out type of operation.
Okay.
So that was a big piece of it. A couple of years ago now, it's been about 2 years ago, we decided to do that into the plumbing vertical, which we figured marries up very well with home because we're in so many homes. We run a lot of preventative maintenance. We're in over 5,000 homes a year on a regular basis through a prepaid membership agreement.
Okay.
So we're in these homes. We got a really good relationship with the customers. And plumbing is a common thing that comes up. So we finally decided we were going to scale that into it. So we did that, like I said, about 2 years ago is when we added plumbing into it. And now we've just been adding and building upon that. And it's a different animal, but it's a great one because it's got more consistency throughout the year. HVAC does get some ups and downs a little bit based on the season.
Yep.
Obviously, our spring and falls tend to taper back quite a bit. And that's why we do so much maintenance.
Okay.
Because we don't, all our employees are employees. We don't do any subcontract work, lay off employees, things like that. We do a lot of maintenance when the tax gets slower. Plumbing's been nicer because it's more consistent and it's pretty steady 12 months of the year. Doesn't have a lot of the ups and downs with it.
What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
So I guess there's a couple different ways for that. LinkedIn is a very fine avenue with Corey Hickmann there. Facebook, we do utilize Facebook a lot, and just through a lot of actually industry groups. Of course, my personal Facebook page here, it's a perfectly fine one with that. And of course, my email, which is Corey@comfortmatters.com, is an easy way to connect for sure.
Okay. And why do people want to work with you? And what's your specialty if people are going to want to reach out for HVAC services?
Well, I guess it depends if you're talking about from the coworker side or the customer side. The coworker side, we hire for attitude and aptitude, so we're a little unique. Meaning, we don't look for a lot of people with industry experience. Tend to find sometimes people with 5 years experience was just 1 year repeated 5 times.
Yeah,
and so we do a lot of we'll bring people in that are completely green to the industry, no experience with that. We've got some pretty good training programs that we do in-house. And then as far as some outsourced school programs, so we do that, and we can take a person, bring them into our maintenance department, and then they'll decide they may transition into the service side, they may transition into installation, they may move into the office, they may move into sales, but we can grow them from bottom up, and they kind of grow our way with that. Because really at the end of the day, at the beginning, I should say, when we wrote the original business plan, was to create an operation that has unequaled growth ability for people. Looking at the community and people, if we can help people get what they want, hopefully that'll serve the company at the end of the day. And that transitions that does come through to our customer though, because the people that we bring on board, they have a passion to communicate and help people, and customers see that. Construction's always been interesting because a lot of times homeowners have a bad perceived value of what they may get, dirty, dirty shoes or loud music or this kind of stuff, and we deliver the opposite. It's gonna be a nice, clean-cut individual, clean uniforms, clean vehicles, and a lot of communication to them.
Yeah.
And which makes a customer feel more comfortable having us in their homes.
For sure.
And so that's, a big piece that brings our customers to us. Reviews, online reviews are a huge believer, we're a big pusher of that one. We've got thousands of reviews on Google, and we continue to communicate that because customers read them.
Yeah.
And it really helps bring customers into us.
Yeah. It actually sounds a lot like our business model, where we feel like we've hired people with a lot of experience. They come with kind of bad habits. We're trying to kind of teach them the Allweather way at the base of our company. So as they go in and meet with customers, we want them to be kind of fit our culture. And it just seems like our business models are a lot are similar.
It is. It works a lot that way. And so a couple of years ago, we partnered with a larger national group too to help our scaling operation, which has become popular in our space. Starting to become popular in the roofing space and many others, just to continue to just level us up and be able to just offer everything, just from better insurance programs, better pricing, better cost control measures, and things like that. So that's been a big piece over the last since 2021. We've been working on that angle.
Okay, awesome. So you kind of started this from the ground up. Is there any tidbit of advice you can give the audience for not becoming an entrepreneur or starting their own business?
A big one is network, finding that mentor, finding a best practice group. I'm a very big believer in that. I was able to get into some really great best practice groups in the beginning and learning from other people in the industry, because there's no use in me repeating mistakes that a lot of people have done over and over again.
Yeah.
I need to learn from them. So finding a best practice group, start creating that plan. You have to, if you don't have a plan, and as you start adding employees, and there's really at the end of the day, we say we're a numbers company that just happens to install heating and air conditioning, plumbing.
Yeah.
And we have to manage that through that, and being able to get people so they can visually see what their expectations are, what their goals are, and then making it repeatable, because there's a lot of things that maybe I can do personally, but if someone else doesn't have that skill, that it doesn't work in the field. And we need to be able to make sure we do things that we can do consistently, that gives a consistent result to the customer and allows us to build. Because I see too many guys. I work on a mentor group once a week with about 5 or 6 other companies. They're heating HVAC guys, and I see that that repeated happening as we don't really focus on something special. We try to do too much, and when we try to do too much, then we just end up getting underwater.
Okay.
And we just can't grow. But we got to look at the biggest thing too, is then knowing about them. Knowing our numbers. I didn't come out of school with I'd say the most impressive GPA at high school.
Yeah.
It was lacking quite a bit, we'd say. Profit and loss, balance sheets were definitely probably not something that I studied a whole lot in those.
Yeah.
But as I started to learn those, that's what really changes the game. Starting to know those numbers and be able to go back to a monthly, weekly, or daily P&Ls and balance sheets and start to pick our indicators, what we need to work on. And that's really where businesses have to start, because that's the issue with HVAC is it's a low barrier to entry, especially in the state of Minnesota. There's no licensing requirements, so you can get it very easy. But if you don't have all the others back end side, people tend to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they usually struggle. They can maybe do the technical work, but can they follow through with the actual business aspect in the background?
Yeah. So what is your, how do you guys get sales in the door or business or leads?
So maintenance is a big one, doing that. But, your typical digital world, through the SEO, we are pretty heavy on the radio. We do a very substantial amount of radio advertising, and it's been very successful for us. Heating and air conditioning is not that thing like, no one's driving on the road thinking about a furnace or air conditioning. They maybe think about buying a new car or a new boat, and because those have more appeal to people buying. You buy heating and air conditioning when you find out it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So we're not able to, we need to try to create relationships with people. So we're very focused on our geographical area. We definitely do direct mail, but our direct mail is very focused on very limited zip codes. And we just continue to build that reputation, social media, Facebook, things like that. So when customers have the need, they're like, what do I do? I'm like, yes, who's that one company, the people that we like. All of our radio ads are done by my wife and I. So they're very focused around us as individuals and the company and try to create the atmosphere of somebody you like. It's not, we're not out there pitching sales, promotions, and all this kind of stuff. It's why we're here and what we're here to do and how we can help customers. And that, at the end of the day, creates a lot of referrals. And referral business is big for us. Getting yard signs out, door hangers, all that kind of stuff.
And what is your geographical area that you focus?
So we focus heavy on the West Metro of the Twin Cities here. We don't, I know some guys will, run all over the Twin Cities, and it hurts your efficiency. And this kind of comes back down to that bottom line again. It's what you can keep at the end of the day that matters.
Yeah.
And so we stay real heavy on the west side, so West Minneapolis, called the United North.
Awesome. So the name of the podcast is The Chills. So the basis behind that is what in your day-to-day job gives you those goosebumps, feel-good moments?
Without a doubt, it's watching new people start to do things they've never done before.
Okay.
We've had a few people here recently that have expanded on to the ability to not only service but offer replacement solutions to customers. And one particular is last weekend, new individual started doing that, and he had a killer weekend. And just seeing how much they've progressed from where they were at 6 months ago or a year ago to not even knowing the industry to all of a sudden now customers are put their faith into large dollar tickets with them because they're doing a phenomenal job. And seeing that, and then obviously following up when you see that great review come across, and that these people did something that you kind of didn't have impact at. These people are doing what they should do, which is awesome to see.
So it's fun for you or the employee side, seeing people grow, and
it is. It's huge.
Yeah.
When you watch and you see that happen, and they just get excited, they buy that new truck, or they have their first kid, or they get their first house, and that's the fun stuff to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I always tell the story because when we're going full steam in the summer, we'll bring our employees, and we always have an end of the year holiday party, and the employees bring their wives, and sometimes you see their kids at some of these events. You're like, wow, the work that we did together, help keep these people, get food on the table, and it's kind of cool to see how many people you can affect.
It does. It spreads. When we started, Comfort Matters, my daughter was 1, as I mentioned, and she just moved back yesterday for the summer. She's gonna be a junior at college next year, which is crazy. But and she's going to school in kind of the business aspect, and she's starting to put those pieces together and seeing that she's studying business better, and then she looks at what we've done over the years, and she's like, I get it.
Yeah,
I understand what we're trying to do.
Sure. Is she gonna work with you guys, or?
I don't know. I would be fine with it. I don't think she will.
Yeah.
You never know what comes along in the future with that one. But right now, like I said, she's got 2 years left in school.
Yeah.
And what industry she'll get into, who knows? I think she's got she's majoring in supply chain and minoring in marketing. And reality, you can fit into any business. It doesn't matter if you're a machine shop, heating, or roofing, or whatever. Yes. Aspects. Because they're studying the numbers.
Okay. It looks like you work with your wife as well.
Yes. Yep.
When did she join the team?
She had been pretty much clear right out of the beginning. Different aspects. Obviously, our children were young at that point, but I would be right out of the chute.
Sure.
And from whether it be answering a telephone call, booking a call, to many other things. As I mentioned, obviously on the marketing side, the radio piece has been very big for the last 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
For that, so just everything down to. Yeah, could be from picking company names to colors to you name it. There's just an impact on all ways and at all times.
Okay. And how about your mascot, Eddie?
Eddie. So Eddie is our Eddie's our little 4-pound Chihuahua that is the happiest guy in the world, and the best reason he comes around is he loves people, and people love him because he just hangs out. He's just real chill.
Do you take him to the office every day?
He will come into the office. He will hang out, and he will bother people because he's going to hang out in everybody's lap.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But, he's goofy, and he's just so chilled in every moment.
I love it.
And he's super happy. Makes people smile.
Yeah. So that's great. I think that's it. Thanks for coming in today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great meeting you.
Yeah. And that's a wrap, folks. A huge thank you to our incredible guests and, of course, Allweather Roof for making this podcast possible. If you enjoyed these conversations as much as we did, don't forget to hit subscribe and share the chills with your fellow business aficionados. Remember, it's not just about business, it's personal, and it's all about the people. Stay inspired, chase those dreams, and let the chills guide you. Till next time, this is Brent, signing off from the Chills Podcast. Catch you on the flip side.